heard that question before. Who fills them up? And I said, who? Who fills who up? He said, the volunteers. I said, well, they come out, the players fill them up. No. Who fills up the volunteers before they get here? And I said, you? And he said, that's right, I'll be here. So please welcome Lance Thonvold, who is now a motivational leader.
Thank you. Hey, I like that. That was fantastic. Hey, that's a good introduction. I haven't had one of those like that before. So thank you, Drew. I just really appreciate you allowing me to be here. I get an opportunity to speak to students, high schools. I recently was in Alabama, New Jersey, spoke to 1,000 kids the other day in Apache Junction, and it's really cool that I get to do that. But this is a first for me. Like, this is a first that I get to pour into volunteers. This is a first that I get to pour into people that are really doing this out of service, that are really doing this out of their heart. Okay, so my first question to you guys is, how many of you guys, you got kids? Kids, okay. Now, how many of you guys were adopted? And you guys adopted or adopted a child? Okay, so I'm looking at my mom over here. This is the first time she's ever heard me speak. Can you give me up for my mom? So before this big guy came along, 6'5", 250 pounds, threw 97 miles an hour, before me, my parents weren't able to conceive a child. And my parents, they weren't able to have a kid. And they spent years trying to have a child. And what ended up happening to my mom and my dad, they made the decision that they were going to adopt. They said, you know what? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on in our life, but we should adopt a child. They spent that money. They spent the time. And then finally, they were able to receive this baby boy named Jack, which is my brother from South Korea. And I know how impactful that was for them because of the story that my mom's been able to share with me about the day that they got to go to the airport in Phoenix and pick up Jack, about the day that this 5-month-old baby from South Korea landed in their arms, about the day that the miracle happened that they had a child. And I know how impactful it is because I can feel the emotion when my mom tells the story. And she remembers that day. She remembers that day like it was yesterday. And what ends up happening in adoption is you take a child from South Korea and you uproot them. And you bring them into a new country. You bring them into a new environment, Mom. You brought them into a new world. And you brought Jack out of South Korea into America, into your home, into your family. And that was a blessing that you got to receive. So when I look at this league, when I look at what's going on here, I look at this as an adoption. That these kids get to show up at an opportunity to be adopted into the Miracle League for an hour. To be adopted into the Miracle League for one day out of the week. They get to be uprooted out of their old mindset. They get to be uprooted out of their normal life. They get to be uprooted out of how they're ostracized. They get to be uprooted out of people looking at them. And they get an opportunity to be a miracle. To be a part of this league. To stand on this field and to experience something brand new. Just like my brother got uprooted out of South Korea and now he's experiencing something brand new in America, these kids get an opportunity to be adopted. And I want you to not take that lightly. Like what you're doing is a calling. What you're doing is a mission. And not 2 years later, after all the infertility issues that my parents faced, they were able to have me. The stress was decreased. They had their baby boy. And what I think about now that I have a daughter, she's almost 2 and I got a little baby boy on the way, my mindset is, what is this boy going to be? Who is my daughter going to become? And that's what I started thinking. I was thinking about this last night. I was watching more videos about the Miracle League. Like, what are my plans for them? And then I started to think about the parents. The parents who have kids that participate here. And I started to think they had dreams. They had things that they wanted for their children. And those dreams got taken away. Whether that was before they were born, whether that was right after they were born, 3 years, 5 years old. Some sort of disability, something happened. And life changed in an instant. So when we come here, we have an opportunity to adopt that child for an hour. We can have an opportunity to uproot that mindset that they've been living in and bring them into the miracle mindset. Right? Come on. Let me hear that. So you guys are playing such a special role in these kids' lives, but even more than that, you're playing a special role in the parents' lives. Because now they get to see their child with a jersey. They get to see their child's name on the board. They get to see their child participate in something that when that disability came, that they never thought would happen. So Drew, thank you for this. Thank you everyone in the Miracle League for putting this together. When I first had my conversation with Drew, you talked about me, now I get to talk about you. When we first had that conversation, I don't think I got a word in for 15 minutes. This man was Miracle League this, Miracle League that. Lance, you wouldn't believe it, you got to be here. And I was like, he is so fired up about this league. What is it? Like, what is it about it, Drew? And then and he just couldn't stop talking. And I could feel the passion. I could feel your heart burning for the kids. But then you mentioned your heart burning for the parents. And that's what made me want to come here today. That's what made me want to donate my time. That's what made me want to volunteer and be here just like you are. So there was a lot of hard times. Like, I had a lot of fulfilled dreams in my career. I played with the Seattle Mariners. That's right. I threw 97 miles an hour. I was a draft pick. A lot of cool things. I played at the University of Minnesota, so I had a lot of fulfilled dreams in my life, but that doesn't mean I had a fulfilled heart. And that doesn't mean I didn't have to overcome adversity. I didn't have to overcome obstacles or challenges. I remember 22 years old, I was in the midst of my best season, in the midst of my best career, and I'm on my way to the major leagues, and I'm in spring training in 2016. I come out, I need Tommy John surgery. And I thought, okay, my career is going to be derailed for, a few months, for 12 months. That wasn't the case for me. It was one season, and then it was 2 seasons, and then it was 3 seasons. I spent 6 days a week, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. driving from Scottsdale to Peoria trying to fix up this elbow. And in that time, I thought I was rehabbing my elbow. I was really rehabbing this broken heart. I was really rehabbing what was going on in me. And I know that there was a few things that I had to do in order to be my best every single day, in order to show up with an all-in mindset amidst my external chaos going on around me. So I got 3 things for you guys. How to show up as the best volunteer for this 1 hour. Like, how can you be your very best here, but also in the rest of your life? Because this right here, like he says, you're uprooting them, you're taking them out, you're adopting them into this space. Like, let's make it be the best space that they've ever experienced in their life every single time, right? Because they deserve it. So they deserve it. So I would go to that field. I didn't know what was going on with my elbow. I was doing the rehab. I was doing the workouts. I was eating right. Like, I was doing everything that I should have been doing, but nothing was working out. I kept on getting hurt. PRP, stem cell, loose fragmented bones. Like 3 straight years. But my routine didn't change. My attitude didn't change. And it was because of these 3 things. Number 1, don't feel your way into action. Act your way into right feeling. Okay, so everybody comes here with a different set of mindset, with a different set of financial obligations, with a different set of things going on in their life. You show up as a volunteer here, you got a lot of chaos going on in your life. Everybody does. They come here with a different mindset, right? You guys all got things going on. Whether it's your kids, school, whatever it may be, there's a lot of stuff going on in your life. So that can easily cause you not to feel right when you get here. So your action is going to result in that. The way you encourage is going to result in that, because you might be somewhere else. So before I speak, before I used to go to that weight room, I used to say I need to act my way into right feeling. Like, I am going to fake it till I make it, until I feel right, until I feel motivated. Because how many of you guys have had a diet before or a workout plan? Yeah, everybody. Everybody's had one of those. They go 2-3 weeks in, they're grinding, they're working out, they're meal prepping, and then at some point you lose motivation, right? Right? The feeling's over. You lost that motivation because you haven't seen the result come to life yet. Right? So what I want you to do is just get yourself in the right mindset, start acting yourself in the way to right feeling. So before I go to speak now, like before I just came up here, I am blaring those songs. I am blaring whatever music that pumps me up. Because if I don't feel like it, if I got stuff going on outside of my life and I come here with that attitude, I'm not going to be able to pour into you guys and pour into you as best I can. So get yourself in the right mindset so that when you start acting, when you get here, you can start to feel better. You can start to feel your way in encouragement and giving the high fives and doing the best that you can, providing the best environment for them. Okay? Number 2 is nothing special. So everybody thinks that becoming a professional athlete, going to the next level is extraordinary. Like you got to have this extraordinary effort. You got to have this extraordinary talent. And as I look back on my career, as I look back even on how speaking is going for me, I see that it's not in the extraordinary effort. It's in the nothing special things that I do. Because nothing special is the habits. Nothing special is the discipline. Nothing special is getting up early, getting yourself in the right mindset. Nothing special is giving another high five. Giving another nothing special high five. Another nothing special encouragement. And the reason I say it's nothing special is because it's so easy to do it, but it's so easy not to do it. So when you're trying to do that diet or get in the shape that you want, it's so easy to go to the gym. You just drive and you go there and you do it. But it's also so easy not to. It's so easy to eat right, but it's also so easy not to. So when you come here, it's so easy to give that high five again. It's so easy to be a light again. It's so easy to give another compliment. It's so easy to be there and be present and be focused on the mission at hand. But it's so easy not to. So if you just choose to do the nothing special action again and again and again and again, you're going to lead to an extraordinary life, an extraordinary experience here. And the last thing, you guys, number 3, are you in the Miracle League or is the Miracle League in you? Like, are you here with the volunteer badge? Are you here in the Miracle League, or is the Miracle League permeating inside of your whole life? Is it permeating outside of you? Because I believe that the Miracle League is a mindset. Like, you have an opportunity here to not only be the best volunteer, to not only change somebody's life, to not only change a parent's life, but also to change the world, to change this community, to change this state and change this world. Like, as long as you keep showing up with the Miracle League inside of you, like, you will be a blessing in so many other areas. So I came up with an acronym called MIRACLE that I want you guys to understand when you come here. So for M, it's the moments. Like, are you focused 100% on the moment? Or are you allowing all the other stuff going on outside of your life, the financial things, like whatever you got going on in your life, to distract you from this moment when you're here? Like, you guys are worth it. Like, you think you're coming here to impact a life? I really think you're coming here so that you can be impacted too. It fills up your cup as much as it fills up theirs. And sometimes we're selfish about checking off the boxes in life, right? We come to the Miracle League, we went to church, we did that workout. We're selfish in that regard, that we want to check things off. But if the Miracle League is truly in you, those moments are going to be special. Those moments are going to be special. Just be focused. Be right here. The I Am Miracle is about identity. My whole career, I struggled with identity. I put all my eggs in the basket of baseball in what I did instead of in who I am. So you can easily come to the Miracle League and look at what? You can look at what disability. You can look at what they're going through. Or you can look at who they are. You can look at their heart. You can look at who they're being called to be. You can look at their purpose and their vision and their mission. Because inside of some of these kids is more mission and more purpose than anybody else in the world. I've been affected by it. I remember growing up, and I had opportunities to either be a light or to be a burden to some of these kids. And all of us have. And I know how much it impacted my heart. That's why I'm here, because I know it changed me. So identity, stop looking at what's going on in their life. Start looking at who they are. Okay, and the R in miracle is, if we want to have that miracle mindset, we got to hit the reset button. We got to hit the reset button before we come here. We got to hit the reset button on our life. Just like, let's pause it for a moment. Let's reset it for a moment. Let's get recentered for a moment. Let's listen to that gospel song for a moment. Let's listen to that music that's going to get us encouraged. Hit that reset button and have a different experience when we come here. The A is attitude. Your attitude is your currency. Like your energy is your currency. Like how you show up matters, because that can be felt. Your attitude can literally be felt. The way that you show up here can be felt. So make sure that you got the best attitude when you show up. And whatever you got to do to get yourself in that right space, do it. And yeah, it might just be for the Miracle League, but I promise you, you start doing that in your life, it's going to affect everything else. Because you got a choice every single day. You got a choice. Every single season, from Little League to high school to college to collegiate baseball, summer leagues to professional, that coach, he gave me the jersey. He gave it to me. I didn't have a choice on the stitching, the color, or the logo. And it's the same thing in life. Like a lot of times, we don't get to choose our environment. We don't get to choose our race, the religion that we grow up in. We don't get to choose a lot of things. But what we do choose is how we respond. And it's how you respond in life that matters. Your attitude is going to dictate how other people feel when you walk up to them. How do they feel when they get to step on this field? Okay? Where are we? C? All right, we have to see.
Look behind you. It's spelled in purple.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So the C, you guys, in miracle, to have a miracle mindset is, you got to understand this is a calling. Like I said it early, you guys are being called to be here. Like you have a purpose here. Beyond, all of your everyday jobs and titles. Like you have a purpose here at the Miracle League. Like don't ever undermine that. You need to, like, as fired up as Drew is about the Miracle League, and as fired up his heart is, I want you to be that fired up too. Like when you're talking to people and they say, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do? Oh, I do this thing at the Miracle League. Like, no, we got to miss that. Like, you guys, I am a Miracle League volunteer. I change lives through 1 day a week that they get to be in an environment for them to have success, for them to be celebrated, for them to not feel different. Like, that is a calling and a purpose and a vision that's been given to you. Like, steward that well. This is a gift that you have a heart for this. You know how many people are self-centered out here that don't care about other people? Like, they don't ever do anything for other people. They're always serving themselves. How many do we see it on our phones? How many do we see it out here? Like, you guys are special. You have a calling. Like, own that. Own how much of a gift you have. And then, before we wrap this up, the L in that is leadership. Leadership isn't always witnessed. Your calling isn't always going to be witnessed. Like, y'all are leaders in this community. Y'all are leaders in the Miracle League. Like, every time I went to the gym, every time I went to go fix up my elbow for 3 years, every time I did those reps, there was no more awards. There was no more stat sheet. There was no cameras following me. There was nobody telling me how good I was. Like, there was no way that my rehab could be measured anymore. Your calling sometimes can't be measured. Like, what you're doing in this life is immeasurable. This can't be measured. Your leadership isn't always going to be witnessed in life. But what happens is when you continue to grow, when you continue to do the nothing special habits every single time and give another high five, give another encouragement, you are building the depth of your character. Like, the depth of your character is growing when you choose to do it again and again and again. And you keep showing up. So give yourself a round of applause for showing up. And lastly, the E in miracle, having a Miracle League mindset, is everybody wins here. Everybody's going to win. The kids win. The parents win. Y'all win. This is so unique. Not everybody wins in life. People have so many titles, awards, money, houses, cars. Like, everything's always being measured. You're not always winning. I didn't win in my baseball career, Like, I didn't always win. I stepped up on this mound. You know how many times I gave up home runs? Like, you know how many times I gave up double off the wall, 3 straight walks, and then the coach came and benched me? Yeah. You know how many times I didn't win? But I didn't quit. But I didn't give up when it got hard. I kept doing the nothing special things because I knew that was going to lead to an extraordinary life. And here's the thing about an extraordinary life. Sometimes we think that it's an external result. It's actually internal fortitude. Like, we're always looking for this external thing that we're going to get out of life as long as we do the right things. You might get it, you might not. But what's really happening is you're changing on the inside. You're changing who you are. Your character is growing. Your heart's growing. Results aren't always seen in life. Like, they're not always going to be witnessed. The work that I did 5, 6 years ago, 3 years ago, it's just showing up now. It's just showing up now. So everybody wins here. Like, this is so unique. Like, I just want to look into your eyes and say thank you. Like, thank you for what you're doing. I hope this isn't the last time I get to come here. Like, I hope Drew invites me back. I hope I get to spend more time here because I have a heart just like you do. Don't take your heart lightly. Like, this is a calling. Own it. People, this world needs more of you than anything else. Any of that other garbage, any of that other trash that we see on social media. This world needs more of you. Everybody wins, including you. Everybody wins when they show up. Y'all are a blessing. Thank you for allowing me to be here.